Alright, so opener. They're right here. Okay, so let me show you what I got for Black Friday, which isn't much compared to some other people or my family, but there's some good deals. First up, I got a massager for my back, because, you know, back problems.
Who wants a body massage?
I got it for 50% off, so yay! Starlink. Okay, here's something interesting. So, Nintendo's trying to sell all their old stock, so here's Starlink. This was an attempt to beat Skylanders, did not happen, but this is still a $60 thing. At Walmart, it's $60. At Best Buy, $10. Holy crap. And lastly, can't really tell because it doesn't show, there's nothing on it that shows you what it is. The Active 2 watch from Samsung, I got it for $150 off, so that's pretty damn good. And not counting a bunch of Steam deals and stuff, that's it.
Mr. Body Massage Machine, go!
Welcome back, friends. LostScarf here. Time for the vlog. First up, of course, is apologies for no vlog last week. Things were just crazy. Bunch of things happened. We just couldn't get it out, and might be. That's definitely might be. There's no way around it. Just dropped the ball on that one. Things were just too crazy, and it happened. Spinning too many plates, I guess. Just what happened there. Preparation for Thanksgiving, just other things. Thanksgiving has happened. First up, before we talk about Thanksgiving, Scarf has bought protein powder. Protein! Not sponsored by them, obviously. But that was the original opener I wanted to do. The original opener I wanted to do, real quick. I forgot what it was going to be, and then I showed off all that stuff. The original opener was going to be this. It was going to be like, hey guys, Scarf bought a Fitbit watch, which it's not that, it's an active watch or whatever, and Scarf got protein so that he can get jerked, and something like that, but it was going to be like, let's see if I can just get, like, there's no way to show size here. There's no way. No good way to show it. Oh, by the way, November's almost over. It's like 2 days left. This is as much as Scarf can grow in that much time. My boss, I gotta tell you about my boss. So my boss, he grew his mustache from November, and like 5 days in, it's already thicker than what I got. He grows fast apparently. Like he shaves like every day. And his wife was like, I hate it. And then his friends were like, I hate it. People at the gym were like, I hate it. And the reason why is because he looks like a pedophile. That's just, there's no way around it. He just doesn't look right with a mustache. He just doesn't look right. And he knows that, but he's still doing it because his buddy wanted to do Movember, so he's doing it too. And so, because everyone gave him crap for it, he said, screw it, I'm just gonna, for spite, I'm gonna just grow it out the whole month then. Because he was really thinking about getting out of it too, because he didn't like it look either. But now he's like, out of spite, he kept it going, and he's almost there. By the way, he hasn't slept with his wife in 29 days so far. She ain't giving it up. She is not happy with him right now. So he doesn't even know what this is. He doesn't even know this is a thing. But right now, he is succeeding in No Nut November. He just doesn't realize it. I just realized that too. My boss is succeeding in No Nut November right now. Because his wife is not letting him touch her while he's got that mustache. By the way, his son's birthday's this month. So she's really mad because he's got that freaking stash and all the shots with her, with him and her son, and she just doesn't like it. It's the funniest thing thinking about it. That's funny. That's funny right there. So Thanksgiving, it's a month ago was Thanksgiving for Canadians, and it's Thanksgiving for Americans. And if you wonder why we do it, it's because we need an excuse to eat a lot of food. That's it. The real reason for Thanksgiving, I don't even know anymore. They teach it in schools, but no one understands. I don't even know if any of that's real. With the Pilgrims and the Native Americans and all that, I don't even know if that's real or not. It could all be not real. It could all be Santa level as far as I know. Maybe it was real. They actually had meals or something like that, but I have no idea. And I didn't bother to look it up because I didn't think I was going to mention Thanksgiving until just now. Goku was at the Macy's parade. Oh my god, Goku was there. By the way, was it 1993 or 1997? I saw it because I never knew about this. They showed the Sonic float at a Macy's parade, and it got stabbed in the eye by a freaking lamppost and just burst. Like, holy crap, that's crazy. My understanding is that incident caused 2 people to get hurt or die. I'm gonna assume hurt. I'm gonna assume they got hurt, not died, because holy crap. I don't think they'd be doing these balloons if anyone ever died doing that. So what's the biggest problem with Thanksgiving? Like the biggest problem if you're in a good if you're in harmony, which is impossible. The worst part of Thanksgiving is the tryptophan knocking you the hell out, even though people have debunked it apparently, but I don't know. I don't bother. I don't care. The worst part of Thanksgiving, if your family's fine, is that your turkey sucks. That's basically it. There's no good turkey. No one has good turkey ever. The best turkey is at the fair. That is straight up the truth. I don't know why that is, but turkey at the fair is amazing. Turkey everywhere else sucks total ass. I don't understand. Just don't get it. I really don't. Oh my god. But for most people, it is, of course, the whole thing of no politics and any of that stuff at the dinner table. So it is, of course, left-leaning, right-leaning, they come together, and there could be problems. What usually happens, at least in my family, because I'm the only... I don't want to say I'm liberal, I'm more centrist than anything, because there are some things with the right, and like, oh yeah, okay, that's sensible. And there's things on the left, and with, yeah, that these make sense to me. But because of how insane the right is at times, I'm definitely not on the right side of things, I'm definitely on the left side of the center. That's for sure. Definitely center-left. Center stage, stage left. And so since I'm the most left-leaning part of my family, it's a lot of just the family saying things and just me being quiet or eating and just keeping my head down. It's a lot of that. A lot of that. It's a lot of them saying things and looking to me to agree with them because they're just saying right-leaning things. And it's more of like, it's me going like, yeah, I understand what you're saying. And it's more of like, yeah, I get what you're saying. It's not me agreeing. It's just like, I get it. I understand. It's me not trying to argue because there's no good to argue. At least not for me. Because you're not going to change their mind. You're never going to change their minds. That's just not going to happen. And, when they were alive, my grandparents, they're very, very racist. Very anti-LGBTQ as well. And it'd just be a lot more holding my tongue against that as well. And that's a cliche, that's a trope or cliche or whatever, that's true. Just the older generation is going to have opinions the younger generation is not going to have. Sometimes the younger generation might have the same opinions, depending on how they lean, of course. And so it's just a lot of just biting your tongue and just holding it in, not saying anything, because it's not worth arguing. They're not going to change. You're not going to change anyone's minds over Thanksgiving. It's never going to happen that way. That's just not the time to do it. It's not the time to argue. It gets really annoying, but it's not the time to argue. Who was it? I'm trying to remember who it was. I think it wasn't a friend. I think it was someone on Twitter saying that their uncle just kept saying things to try to trigger the leftist parts of the family, and no one responded or no one reacted, but he kept trying to get them to react. And it's like, well, yeah, because who wants to argue over Thanksgiving? You don't want to. Why are you trying to bait for it? Very weird. But for my family, it's always complaining about the illegals, despite the fact everyone in my family is an immigrant. Every single one of them. No, it's not the illegals. It's complaining about the immigrants, and then once you slap them back about that, then they say, no, the illegal ones, and also the bad immigrants. Because they're not the bad immigrants, apparently, which is not the best. Not the best at all. It's not great. It's not great. It's the whole, I'm the main character, I can't be wrong kind of thing mentality is what I feel happens with people. And that's what's happening there. It's very frustrating. I have an uncle. I might have mentioned him before. I have an uncle who hates California, hates liberals, hates gun control, hates all these things, and he can't wait to use his guns when the Civil War happens. That is an uncle I have. That is just... That is an uncle I have. And he's influencing my cousins, and they're starting to get that same mindset, and that's what bugs me. Hate is fast when it moves, but hate is subtle, and hate is slowly encroaches on people and makes them become what they are. And that's why you, of course, want to fight it and everything, but I don't know. My cousins over the years, they've gotten way more radical right. And it worries me a little bit because they're just so aggressive. Very angry all the time, and that worries me. And I think people are right to be angry, but Jesus Christ, all the time is a problem. I burn out on that. Okay, let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. Politics is extremely exhausting. Someone's always pissed about something. And here's a failing of us as a people, and maybe it's not failing, it's just a thing about us is there is what, 8 billion of us? We're not at 9 yet, are we? Are we at 9 billion? I have no idea. There's a lot of us. There's a lot of us. And so there's a lot of us that are also crazy and insane and extreme and all these things. And we're extreme in everything. There is someone who is super crazy on the left, someone super crazy on the right, and there's not just one, there's a couple sprinkled throughout the spectrum of anything, any niche, anything popular, anything political, anything scientific, anything. It's going to have some crazy nut who's all about this or that. And what happens is we see those nuts, we see those insanely wrong people, and we attribute them as all of the thing. So there are absolutely wingnut people on the left. They say some stupid crap, awfully dumb stuff. And that stuff gets on the news, and that stuff gets on social media. And there's even just made up lie stuff that might even just be jokes that gets on the media as well. And then the right will take it as a representative of the left, and why the right cannot let the left win at all, because they'll ruin the world. And then the same thing happens on the other side of it, where you got these crazy ass people on the right saying some crazy ass things. It gets shared, and the left thinks it's the end of the world if the right somehow gets there. It blows my mind how many people on the right are convinced that we would have had World War III if Hillary Clinton won. It blows my mind so much. Also blows my mind the people whose minds are blown by my being surprised that they actually thought that, because they're totally convinced that's a thing. Holy crap at that. What bugs me is there are parts of my family who are buying into the Ukraine rhetoric, which is very frustrating. And there's also stupidity in the center. There's the thing, there's hate everywhere. There's hate everywhere, there's crazy everywhere, there's bad representation everywhere. And at the center, there's some really stupid people in the center. And for me, the people who are the worst people in the center are the ones who don't vote. Because they're like, I'm in the middle, so I'm my way to not give one way or the other and be in the center is to not vote. And that is the stupidest thing you can do if you're in the center. Because if you don't actually vote, it doesn't matter anything. Because it means you don't have any... You need to take a stand on something. I vote some things that are Democrat, I vote some things that are Republican, I vote some things that are independent. I vote all over the place because I try my best to understand each thing I'm voting for, so that I'm voting for whatever I think works best for me and whatever's around me and all that stuff. And sometimes it ain't the person on the left, sometimes it ain't the person on the right, sometimes it ain't the person independent. It's whatever I think works best in these different instances. And that's how I think it should be. It should not be you down the ticket vote. I don't think you should be doing that. I think you should be voting for what you agree with and what works with you. But we keep black and whiting it, and it's not good. It should not be black and white, but it is. And it just blows my mind. And the one that always weirds me out is how much Republicans are supposedly supposed to be about smaller government, less control from the government, and yet but then they override with religious things. So then it becomes, and also there's so much about separation of church and state, and yet they do a lot of religious influence, and they do, like, the government shouldn't be controlling anything about you. And so they do anti-abortion, though, so they can control a woman's choice. They control what choices you can make. And it's like, what do you mean? Like, I thought you were about, I keep saying like, I thought you guys are about smaller government, not so much encroaching and everything, and not controlling what people do, more autonomy for people, and yet you're forcing people to not have this ability to do this, and I don't know. And so you have a little bit of divide on the right, where there's people who are like, yeah, because of that, they're pro-abortion because it's a freedom and things like that, and just all that stuff, and it becomes murky on that side on things. And what's the word here? it just gets complicated. But it's just so weird because fundamentally they're this, and yet they do that. It's a weird thing. I've got friends all over the place. I've got friends who I don't agree with them on everything because there's no way you're gonna find anyone you agree with on everything. I disagree with Jinx on some things. I definitely disagree with Jinx on some things. But we agree on a lot of things for the most part. Because fundamentally, if you perfectly agreed with some other person, then are they a clone? I'm joking. What was I going with this? What I was going with this was there's always going to be some difference of opinion. And it's the severity of it which will decide whether or not you're friends or this or that. But family being family, it's harder for that. And usually family, because family's family, you deal with it. I think family's important for that, where you just learn to deal with the shortcomings of other people. But the problem with family in that situation is it's because it's family, you suffer through it, but you don't necessarily try to understand through it. That's for sure. And I don't know what can be done better on that, because I definitely don't really care to understand my uncle really wanting a civil war. I don't think that's worth understanding whatsoever. Like, he just hates all the gun control laws in California. He hates the smaller magazine and things like that, but because because he has to reload more often. I'm like, you get the reasoning for the smaller magazines. So if there's a freaking shooting, they have to reload more. So that, well, you can maybe stop them while they're reloading. That's the whole idea. They don't have as much capacity to shoot as many people. That's the idea there. At work, everyone's on the right, by the way. I'm the only one who's anywhere near the center. Everyone at work is very on the right. Very on the right. Now, some of them are pro-Trump and some of them are never Trumpers, though. There's that, at least. But they're all on the right side of things, and they all love their guns and everything. But the nice thing is they're all about gun control. All of them are. They're about smart gun control because, yeah, the crazy shouldn't have control of the guns, which I feel is sensible, and I don't know why that's not normal across the country. I don't understand that at all. I really feel like it should be normal that, yeah, we don't want the crazies with the damn guns. We have a lot of guns in the US. We have a ton of guns. And a ton of people own a ton of guns. And their concern is that only the criminals have the guns. But the thing is, it's never going to be they're taking your guns away, and it's never going to be you're not allowed to buy guns. It's more what you can buy and how long it takes to get them kind of situation here. It's never going to be only the criminals have access. It's never going to be that. Gun ownership is too ingrained in our culture. There are the people who are on the far left who just really want to take all the guns away, but that's not what's ever going to happen. That's not sensible in any way. Gun ownership's always going to be a thing because people like guns. People like guns. And that's fine. I just wish we were better about it because school shootings are just way too much. For me, because I was pre and post 9/11, for me it was, of course, earthquake, fire, and all that stuff. 9/11 happens. And then we had terrorist drills. And we did terrorist drills for like 2 years, and then they went away. We just stopped doing terrorist drills. That went away quick. That ain't happening with guns, because with school shootings, because of course they can't go with school shootings. It's happening everywhere. School shootings aren't a boogeyman like terrorists were. Of course, terrorists are real. They would love to do all the bad things they did, but they're held back pretty well. Not like this, because this is seemingly random. How can you really stop this without? Well, of course, it'd be like a lot of social things and all these different. You need like heavy surveillance or a lot of social work to make sure kids are more mentally stable and not feeling the way they feel that they need to use a gun and all that stuff. And this is the thing, is the mindset of just like, well, I wouldn't do that, does not help with the mindset of other people. This is the problem that always happens is, and I don't know how the left is about it because I'm only surrounded by people from the right. And all of them keep putting, I was bullied, I was this, I was all these things. I never took my dad's gun and went to school with it. I was like, yeah, that's you, bro. You're not these other people. And that's the problem, is the mindset of, because of how I did things, that's the only way and anything else is pathetic. And I just can't. I can't. I got too much of a soft heart for that. It's just like, people do different things because of whatever reason. Sometimes it'll make sense, sometimes it don't make sense. For some reason, someone felt they needed to take a gun to school. Or whatever thing. Some of them are troubled people, and some of them are truly evil people. Like Columbine dudes, those are truly evil dudes. The kid who was up in, like, what was it, San Francisco or Oregon or wherever, where the coach stopped that kid, that was just a troubled kid. He was saying what everyone keeps saying is for him is he went there because his planning was to shoot himself in front of everyone, not take everyone with him. Believing that's the truth, that is a horribly troubled situation there. Holy crap, is that troubled. It blows my mind, the response to some dude shooting up people in a church was, well, let's let people have guns in churches. How is that the answer? That is how crazy we are? 10 years ago when I was in college, everyone was like, what do you think's the craziest country in the world? And I said the US. And one dude was like, really? You sure? Like, what about Amsterdam? They do drugs and stuff like that. And like, yeah, they're not killing each other. Apparently I was ahead of my time. Because the reason why I think we're the craziest country is because we're very much in double think and double talk and double standards. And we say one thing, but we do another thing. We're extremely guilt-ridden. We're extremely judgy. We're extremely a lot of things. And so we have a lot of mental issues, I feel, in our country. Depression is higher than ever. Suicide rates are... Oh my god, it just... Number one killer of men is what again, guys? Oh my god. I've said it before and I'll say it again. History will not look kind on us in this time period. Because of that. Because we let Trump become the damn president. I'm mad at, I've said this before, I'm mad at MSNBC, I'm mad at Fox. But I'm especially mad at CNN. CNN did the most to normalize Trump, and they did the most to desensitize people to Trump. I think I talked about this the other time, where the reason why the impeachment hearings were not that effective is because of CNN. Because CNN's like, oh, here's a new thing with Trump, and then they'd have an opinion, a bunch of these opinion people talking, these pundits, and it's all like, the walls are closing in, this is a new bombshell, Trump's going to be out in a week, and just all these different things again and again and again and again for 3 years. So when everything's a bombshell, nothing's a bombshell. So the impeachment has all these all these damning evidence, and it's not enough. It's not enough to public opinion because of CNN. Not just CNN, of course. News organizations in general speak so hyperbolically that everything is harrowing. Everything is... The floor just got even lower. Everything is just these... I can't think of the exact words right now. But there's so much hyperbolic speak. Pretty sure I said this last vlog. There's just too much hyperbolic speak. Where everything's just to the extreme. And when everything's to the extreme, nothing is anything. Trump got caught stealing $2 million from veterans. Straight up proven in court and everything. And that did not move the needle one bit. From veterans. From freaking veterans, guys. And that didn't move the needle. That is the president we have, and that is the society we have, just not caring. It's ridiculous. People give Colin Kaepernick a bunch of shit for kneeling. At least he wasn't stealing millions from veterans. We all think we're always right all the time, but we're not always right all the time. There's times when we're wrong. All of us, we have times when we're fundamentally right and times when we're fundamentally wrong, and there's going to be a give or take on how much more and how much less on each of those things. But, dear God, this wasn't even the topic I want to talk about. This is just how things went. How do I want to end this? On a positive note, of course. The positive note is I don't know. I don't know. I feel like in the grand scheme of things, we're just getting more and more screwed, but it's slow enough that maybe we won't see it until we're too old to care. The next generation's the one who's going to have the problem. That's really what it feels like. It really does feel like that. I don't know. I don't know. We keep hoping. Here's the thing. We keep hoping optimistically that things will change in politics, that things will get better. And maybe they will, but I don't know. Because it just feels like it just keeps going round and round and not going any better, but it's why we keep going, is the optimism, I think. It's why we keep going along, is that. Or, spite. Spite keeps a lot of people going, too. Hate for the other helps a lot of people keep going. I can't do that. I'm too soft for that. I'm too nice for that. As much as hard-hearted as I am, I'm also soft-hearted as well. Scarf is a contradiction, as we all know. I feel bad for a lot of people, and just like that, I could also wish complete death and horribleness for someone as well. And then just like that, I feel really bad about that. And then just like that, I say fuck him. And then just like that, I feel really bad again. I wish we were in a better place. I really do. I wish we were kinder. Why am I saying all this? Why I'm saying all this is multiple reasons. One is vlogs are basically Scarf therapy. Scarf putting the words out there and thinking about it and chewing on it and everything. And the other is no, it's just that. It's just therapy. Oh god. It's also just what's going on. One more month and then the channel will be in its new what we're gonna do with it. Let's end on this note, because I showed the protein powder and all that stuff. So it's been about 100 days since the car accident. I've still got the herniated discs. They want to do an epidural into my spine. But my back's been feeling pretty good lately, so I don't think I'm going to do the epidural because I keep hearing horror stories about it. I found out, I think I said this before as well, a couple vlogs back, the epidural killed one of my mother's nerves when they had me, which I had no idea, so that's not good. Other people at work, same situation. They talked about their wives and aunts and stuff where the epidural messed up their back. I'm like, Jesus Christ. I have an appointment about this epidural on next Tuesday, and I'm just gonna be like, I think I'm good, guys. I think I'm all right, because it's more for if you're in constant pain. If you're in constant pain, you do the epidural because it's supposed to help with the discs. But I think I'm okay right now, and so I don't really want to do that. So I think I'm going to say no to that, which probably will hurt how much I get from the lawsuit for the accident, but because you got to show you're doing everything. But if I'm not in that much pain, then I shouldn't do it. And also, I don't want to take the risk if I don't have to, kind of situation as well. So yeah, hitting the gym again. My body is just torn up right now from working out again. Just remembering what it is, doing the things I can't do as much as I used to, and I gotta get it back. The ultimate goal is this. The ultimate plan is to, that's why I got the protein powder, is to get the muscle and get it faster, because I just never got it. This is all just, can't see this side. You can see this side. You can see this side. Let me be a little indulgent here. Let me be a little indulgent. This is pretty strong and pretty much some fat in there and some muscle in there. And my plan is to get more muscle, so that, because more muscle will burn more if I'm working out harder. And so the plan there is to just bulk up so I get more muscle, and then with that, you expending more energy and calories, that's how I'll lose weight down the line. So bulk up first with muscle, and then slim down after. That's going to be the plan. That's what the protein's for. Bulk up, require more energy for more power, and then that will hopefully eat away a bit at the fat going forward. And the ultimate goal is Scarf wants to be freaking Midoriya, which I don't know how that's going to work out, at Comic-Con. Midoriya is a very extremely, what's the word here? Belt? What? He's whitey. He's whitey. Midoriya's a very wiry boy. He's muscled, but he's very whitey. He's more of a skinny, muscled up, toned boy. While Scarf is top heavy as hell. That's definitely Scarf. So Scarf would be better as Sugar Man. If you don't know what I'm talking about, that's fine. Jinx will probably put pictures on the screen, please. Sugar Man looks like Ultimate Muscle. If If you don't know what that is either, it doesn't help either. So that's the goal. That's the idea. And we'll see where we go with that. So the back's getting better. I got this for when the back isn't peachy. And so there's optimism there with my back. I can't be flexible though. That's the one problem is I can't be flexible. I can get bigger, I can get stronger, I can get faster to an extent, but my flexibility probably isn't going to happen ever again. Like, I'll try to do some core things, and just the second I feel it, I'll stop. But unless the back can get better again, unless these herniated discs can get better eventually over time, if that's a thing, then great. I don't really understand how this all works. I don't know if it can repair itself to that extent. But hopefully it can. But that's the plan. And we'll see how that goes. And then, yeah. So that right there is the vlog. Next vlog, this will be shaved. Not the cheeks. I want to see how it all grows. So the cheeks will be shaved. It'll be up to like this. And then the beard will be shaved. Scarf's going to try to be clean more often. That's the idea. I'm going to try to be more clean. Which means actually shaving the cheeks and the neck more often. I like the chin strap, so I'm keeping that. That's the look I like the most. I like the chin strap look for some weird reason. And then I'll keep this, as small it is, and the mustache, and there you go. And then when cosplay happens, this all gets shaved off, because Midori ain't got no stash. And I gotta suffer, because I hate not having a stash. I just like it. I like having this little bit that's not much. It just feels who I am. Alright, so there you go. That is the vlog. I had fun from watching. That's what's all about, isn't it? Having fun links come by. And see you next time. Good therapy session, everyone. That's what it is. It's free therapy.